Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Exeter Planning Board meeting of Thursday, September 12th at 7 p.m. in the NOAC room. We'll start off by telling you that we have 2 members that are on Zoom tonight. And we'll follow those procedures when we get to that particular point. But I'll start off by introducing the board. I'm Langdon Plumber, chair of the board. And to my left is?
Aaron Brown.
Gwen English.
Nancy Belanger, Select Board Representative.
Thank you.
John Gruder.
And on the screen, we have Pete. Can you hear me, Pete?
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Can you tell me where you are and if you're alone, please?
I'm about to be alone. My wife has been here getting me set up. I'm in the Riverwoods skilled nursing facility where I'm going to be for a while. So I will not be taking any site walks for a little bit of time. But I'm here and ready to participate.
Thank you. Now I need to see Jen, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Jen Martels. Hi, Jen.
Hi there.
Can you introduce yourself? Oh, are you by yourself?
Yep, I am Jen Martell. I'm a planning board member. I am in my office at my house, currently alone. My 10-year-old may pop in at bedtime.
Okay. Now, tonight, what's required is all our voting has to be hand votes, roll call votes, if you will. So just to proceed on that, I think those are the basic rules to go by. So our first item on the agenda is to approve minutes of August 22nd, 2024. And I'd ask to see if anyone has comments on those. First, please.
I think
Nothing from me.
I had an edit, Mr. Chair, and it was on page 2, line 46. And it was a comment that I made, and I'd like to, I think it was misinterpreted when it was written, but I think I'd like to change the share in the cost, change that to, and this is a little bit long, but it's more accurate. I'd like it to say encouraged to participate by recycling their styrofoam here once the system is installed. I don't think I said that I thought the communities should share in the cost of purchasing this piece of equipment.
Okay.
Thank you. And then I had another, line 185. The word requested should be changed to requesting, ing. And line 264, at the very bottom of the page, checklist, that's just a typo, it should be checklist. And that was it. Thank you.
Nancy?
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
I'm open to a motion.
I move to accept the planning board meeting minutes for August 22nd, 2024 as amended.
Second.
Thank you, John. Seconded. We have to do a hand vote on this, so those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand.
The other right.
Those opposed? Have we got Pete?
Do a roll call.
That's all right. I have to abstain because I wasn't at the meeting, and
Got it. That's all I need to know, that you're abstaining. Thank you.
Mr.
yes, sir. That's it.
Yes.
Need to do individual roll call?
Oh, individual.
I think so.
Thank you for
I
correcting me.
think so.
See, that's why I have a good board. So, starting on my far left, Nancy?
Aye.
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 Abstain. Now, Jen, please, on the screen.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
You probably can't vote for Pete. He needs to say it.
Yes, yeah, he already,
Make him say
He
it.
already did.
Make him say it.
okay. Back to Pete, please.
To do what? Abstain?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, anybody opposed to? And I have the abstentions, so the motion passes. Thank you. Okay. We do have council with us this evening. I failed to introduce him, and Kristen Murphy is our town planner per diem, not per diem, per this moment, per this evening, per this evening. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So we have the application of 107 Film Road, LLC. Is there a request regarding moving the agenda or not?
I have not heard one
I've not heard one.
in the room today.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead with the agenda as it stands. Application Funnel Road LLC for multifamily site plan review for the conversion of existing single-family residence and attached barn located at 50 Linden Street into 3 residential condominium units. Subject property is located in R2 Single-Family Residential Zoning District and its tax map parcel number 82-11 and planning board case 24-11. And do you have some comments to start us off with, Kristen, please?
Just what was provided by Dave Sharples. The application plans and supporting documents dated 7/9 were previously mailed with the August 22nd meeting materials. There was no technical review committee meeting. However, plans were reviewed by staff for compliance with zoning and the board's site plan and subdivision regulations. The applicant was scheduled to appear at the August 22nd meeting, but after discussion with the applicant's representative, Henry Boyd, who's present tonight, regarding the necessary waivers required, he opted to request a continuance to tonight. In order to provide additional time to address the issue, the applicant is requesting several waivers from the board's site plan and subdivision regs. And you received the enclosed waiver request letters. Dave did provide me with suggested conditions of approval in the event the application is approved.
Thank you. Henry, the floor is yours.
Good evening.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, excuse me. We need to open the case, don't we?
I'm sorry.
See, the board's great. I always say surround yourself with good people. Is the plan ready to be heard?
Yes.
Okay, then I'd look for motion, please.
Move to open the case for planning board case number 2411.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Down that way. All right. One at a time. Nancy?
Aye.
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 Aye. And Jen?
Aye.
Thank you. That was Jen. Do you want to see Jen say aye? I can have her do that.
We recognize her voice.
We can see it here.
We can see her here, yes. Okay. Now, Henry, the floor is yours. Excuse me for
That's okay, sir.
details.
Good evening, Board. For the record, I'm Henry Boyd with Millennium Engineering. My clients are with me and seated in the back, Ravi and Gal. This is an existing single-family dwelling, as Kristen read the case. The big issue here is there's a very large barn in the back. This barn structure will be replaced with a different structure. Currently, right now, it's about less than 4 feet from the property line. It's going to be moved over, the new structure, to be about 10 feet from the line. So we did get some relief from that, and I think Dave in his memo mentioned that as well. And I guess the second sheet is the more exciting one, if you will. So you can see that the proposed two-story building here has been moved significantly from the lot line. To achieve parking for it, we actually have pervious pavers in here. Initially, when we went to meet with Doug Eastman, we didn't think that we would have to come before the planning board, whereas this is going to be all pervious structure, but in talking to Dave, he said that it's disturbance. It doesn't matter whether it ends up as a pervious attribute or it's not pervious. It's the fact that it's the impact and the actual disturbance. So that's why we're here. So to accommodate the dwelling area in the back, we have 4 parking spaces. This is all going to be pervious pavers. I have a detail for the pavers on there. The other thing that is happening here is that there's an existing driveway here on this side. We're widening it slightly to accommodate for the parking in the front unit. So it's essentially going from one parking space to two. There's already a curb opening here as there is one here. So there currently are two existing driveways on the site. The waivers that Kristen talked about, there are two waivers. One of them is grading within 5 feet of the property line, and though we're basically tying into the same grade, so there's no significant change in elevation, because we do have disturbance here in the back slightly. There is a slight grade to catch the property line here to make sure that the grading on the pavers works. But as far as the grading to the neighbor to the east, it's all going to tie in at the existing grade, so we're not lifting anything up. It won't be noticeable. The other waiver request is that there is no backing onto a street, even though that's how it happens currently. But Dave felt that because we were widening this from one space to two, he recommended that we ask for the waiver for that. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. One of the really good things about this is currently this structure is on a septic system. And it's going to be tied into the sewer system, which is out on the Y property. So these gentlemen have effectively met and coordinated with the Y, and the Y has given them an easement, which will be executed and recorded at the registry, which will allow them to tie into the existing sewer manhole that is on the Y property here. Our neighbor to the east is currently already tied in, which is fantastic. So this is one more property that gets off of septic and gets onto the sewer. I've had to design a sewer line to come in and intercept the existing line that comes in. Those grades are on here. And as Dave said, the departments have looked at it, but it never went through official tech review because we didn't feel it was necessary, and neither did Dave. So beyond that, I really don't have a whole lot to offer. The existing house stays the same up to here. The new building will be built into just as the old barn is now.
Questions? Thoughts, concerns?
Go ahead, no, you go.
Henry, could you just go over the one waiver didn't hear you clearly about the parking space layout waiver motion? Can you just address that one again? I didn't quite hear you.
Yeah, so Aaron, there is currently a driveway right here, a cut in the curb that exists, and there's an existing driveway, but its width is about a car and a half.
Sure.
We're simply adding some pervious pavers here. It's hard-packed gravel, so it doesn't drain. So we're implementing also the pervious paver technology here, but because we're making it a true second space, Dave felt that though it was an existing driveway, we still probably should just ask for that waiver. And that waiver is specifically because the regulations say that you're not supposed to back out into a street.
Right.
Though it's happened that way at this place for decades.
So it's an expansion of the use, essentially.
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
go ahead.
A couple questions.
Sure.
In the I think it was in the ZBA notes, did it indicate 7 parking spaces? And if that's the case, I'm seeing 6? Or am I missing one?
I don't remember 7 being required. It has 2 per each. There'd be 3 units, so there's 2 spaces per each.
Okay.
But there is room to park on the side here if they had to.
Okay.
And then they could come down and negotiate a turn and not have to back out as well. That's a really long driveway. It's going to be costly to build this driveway and the parking area. However, that's just too long of a way to back all the way out. But there is room to park on the side if they had to, because it's really flat graded in here.
The challenge with that stuff, I think, these days is the deliveries that people are getting all the time.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I would think the Amazon guy is going to be backing out of there. That's just, it's just what we're seeing. We're seeing
You ever see
everywhere.
Amazon pulling in? Yeah, backing out.
They're pretty good at it, but they definitely are
Yeah.
doing it.
They,
Often they park on the street.
They do.
Yeah.
To avoid that kind of
They
thing.
do, yeah.
I don't. The letter, I did find the letter, and it was from October 18th of 2023, and it was the ZBA, the last, it's the permitted uses, the Article 5, Section 5.2, permit the conversion of an existing single-family resident and attached barn located at 50 Linden Street into 3 residential condominium units as presented, subject to the following conditions. And one of the conditions is the applicant should provide a total of 7 on-site parking spaces. So I don't know if that's, if this has been changed since that.
I don't think so, Gwen. It may have just been something, I'm getting old, so it was almost
Me
a year
too.
ago. I can certainly add and amend this plan to show another parking space here if you'd like to do that. We certainly can do that.
If it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you're not aware of a change, and
I
this
am-
was in 2023, so
Yeah,
I don't know if
I'm not,
anything.
but it was nearly a year ago, and it may have just been something that escaped me.
Okay. And then the other question I had, this was another ZBA comment. In the application, the square footage is 14,594 square feet. And on, oh God, somewhere else the number was
I know how
see, I
that
did this
happened.
about
I know how it happened.
3 weeks ago, so I should have looked
Yeah,
at it
I
again.
know how that happened.
Oh, so you know this one?
I do.
Okay, good, because I don't have to explain it.
DTC prepared the zoning application for this, and I believe that they took the square footage of the lot area from the tax map, instead of taking it from a very accurate survey. So this is the actual
That's correct.
square footage area of the
Okay.
lot. Yep.
Okay, good. Unless anyone else has a question, I'll keep going.
Keep going.
There was a question about the landscaping plan, or the neighbors requested some screening. Is
Yes.
that, do you have that?
My client can talk about it more thoroughly, but
Okay.
when we first appeared, there was some concerns about the driveway proximity and those things, and some fencing. So Gal and Ravi has met with the neighbors and have agreed to do planning that's satisfactory to them.
Okay.
Yep.
If you want to go to a
Could you
mic.
just step and use the mic, introduce yourselves, and so our viewers.
Yeah, I'm
will
Gal
know.
Peretz, I'm one of the owner. Talking with a neighbor, she decided she'd prefer to have 3, so we agree. Plus, and we don't put it, we connect the neighbor house to the sewer with us. So she's getting out of a septic because we're doing the whole development, the whole stuff there.
Okay. Do you know, just curious, do you know what kind of trees you're putting in, or hasn't that been determined yet?
Yeah,
Arborvitae's, okay.
I'm Ravi, the other
Thank you.
owner. She wanted arborvitae's, and we even submitted a letter stating the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Oh, go ahead.
No, you. This is your thing.
Okay. How many?
Yeah.
You know how many trees?
And you can come and sit at the table because those mics are
Sure.
live.
And
We didn't talk about a number, but we will do what it takes to.
I think we say like
Give
around every
privacy.
4 feet or something,
Okay.
and
Oh.
get it like around,
Yeah.
I think 8 feet high, or like, we get it like not like tiny one basically. So
Okay,
They grow pretty quick.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we get it like
Probably, we try to get a little specific on that, just because it avoids confusion later,
Yeah.
you know? So can you give us a guesstimate, how many you're gonna have? Every 4 feet, what would it be?
I don't know, but that's quite a few, because
Yeah.
that line is 160 feet.
No,
Now,
not this. We're going the other one, yeah.
Yeah, it's still 160 feet, so that's
yeah. I
40
think it's
40
just like
trees.
that to the line where the house and the lot. you know?
There's a fence right here already.
Yeah, but I don't
Aaron.
think we go all the way. We
I
just-
understand, Gal, I'm trying to explain. There's a fence right here already.
Yeah.
And there's a retaining wall, so I think it's just this portion of
To
it.
screen the new structure?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's probably maybe about 10 trees, I would say, but I think it would be better to say every 4 feet as required, instead of giving a distance, because that may be not right.
Yeah,
Got it, yep.
or a number
That
is helpful, a number of trees. What do you think, 10?
Well, if it's 60 feet, that's why I'd rather not say it, if it's more than 60, but if it's every 4 feet where required, that number, I would say, would probably, be about 10, something like that.
Minimum of 10?
Yeah.
Can always put up more,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, minimum of
Is
10.
that
Yeah.
satisfactory?
I mean, I'm comfortable with the one every 4 feet, but if they're,
Well, it's about
if you
the
want to
same
say,
number.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get a number.
I know,
versus,
I
you know.
understand.
minimum of 10 placed every 4 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That condition works for me. Does it work for you?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, John?
And
The driveway that you're widening,
sewer connection.
that now allows 2 cars to park beside each other,
Yes, sir.
is that allowed in this town? Some towns don't allow that because there's a blind spot that one car backing out, and the car to the side of it is blocking it if you come into that.
Yeah, I would say, John, by the time they get out to be able to see where the street is, it wouldn't be blocked by the car anymore. But where there's one space now, and probably you could fit 2 in there, but I didn't feel that it was right to say that there were 2 legitimate spots there, so we're simply adding 1, not 2. We're not adding 2 spots, we're adding 1.
But side by side.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but if this car blocks this car from that car coming down the street, it's harder to see.
Most driveways,
Some towns don't allow it, I'm just, I don't know
Well,
Exeter.
yeah, most towns don't allow tandem parking either, where you have to move one car to get out. And
Yeah.
they would normally give you a width of at least 24 feet, which would be 2 cars plus. So,
Well, the trick is to pull up and back in, and you'll
yeah,
have to back
I
out.
think the better option is to back in so that
Yeah.
they don't have to pull
They have a
out.
big walkway too, so when they get out, before they go to the street, they still
Yeah,
have
yeah.
plenty, they already clear the other car.
I have a question.
Yeah, there's a 5-foot, 5 or 6-foot wide paved sidewalk in there as well before you get to beyond the curb and into the street.
So,
Is the curb cut going to be widened?
Excuse me, Gwen, Jen?
Thank you. Sorry, it's hard to interject in the conversation over Zoom. Is the curb cut going to be widened? Because it looks like right now your 2 parking spaces that you're proposing don't actually line up with the curb opening.
Yeah, so Jen, they're off-centered a little bit, but I don't think the curb cut would need to be widened. I think we can pull that space a little bit further toward the west.
But the person parking in spot number 2 is going to be going over the town's curb to get out and in.
He could, that's why I suggest maybe when we add that other space, I can realign those so that it's not quite as bad. But I think they can do it because there's a turn down there as well, where it's not dropping off at a 6 or 8 inch drop. There's a turn down in the curb.
And that paving goes from edge of the sidewalk
Yeah.
in.
Correct.
So as they back out, they go over the sidewalk.
Yeah, well, currently, it's a sidewalk, but it's depressed in the
It's
grade.
depressed, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it comes back up here.
Yep. Anything else, Jen?
Yes, and just to clarify, those parking spaces are going to be the Teco Block pervious paver walkway detail. Is that correct?
Yes, everything is going to be built in those Teco blocks.
Okay. So I would just probably clarify that it's not a walkway, it's a driveway, and typically you need a different size paver because like a walkway paver is going to be thinner and will crack. So just, I feel like that should be clarified because otherwise it basically, the system won't have integrity and could cause more problems for erosion and whatnot if it's not installed properly.
Yeah, these pavers are designed to handle that, but I can select another paver that's a little bit thicker to address that concern.
So,
Okay, yeah, I think it's just the terminology of walkway. I don't
Yep.
see where you're specifying a specific paver, so I was just confused about that.
Right. I'll revise that detail to show that.
that'll
Okay,
be a
thanks.
detail on the plan, will it not?
Yeah, it's this detail right here, Lang.
Oh, okay.
She's just suggesting that we specify the paver width to make sure it has the integrity for
Okay,
for the
good.
driveway, and not
Yep.
just a walkway.
Pete, do you have anything to say? Or any
No,
questions?
no. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Okay,
I do.
go ahead.
I think I heard you say something about during your project, you're going to connect or work with the neighbor about connecting them to sewer as well, that they're in septic now. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, a septic basically going to go from our house and meet probably somewhere before the Y or after. We work with
This neighbor.
and then they're going to be Y together.
Okay. So it's
So-
going to be one line going to the street both
But we
on your
we
properties?
kind of meet in the Y somewhere.
It doesn't actually go to the street, Aaron. It goes to a cross-country manhole out here, so
Gotcha.
Yeah.
they haven't asked us to look at that yet, but
Okay.
but what I would imagine is that you would intercept, when this line is put in, the line would come in and have a Y very similar to how we're going to tie into, and probably at the same spot.
Okay.
But we'll work with the sewer
Or even
department.
before, and then just go.
We'll work with the
bigger
sewer
one.
department to determine that.
Okay. So you guys will be essentially, I guess I would call it coordinating?
Oh, yeah,
with
we
the
already
abutter?
talking about this. She's all into it because.
Yeah. No,
you
that's a
know,
pretty,
With the last two
it's the right
houses-
time to do it.
Yeah, with the last two houses that don't connect there. And,
Right.
And because we already digging most of it, it'd be much more easy, and less cost for her to do it too.
Sure. So,
And we are right next to the river.
yeah. Yeah,
Right.
no, it's a good improvement. Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, we already have a failed septic there, so.
Yeah. That's not,
Well, let me open this to the public. If someone would like to speak to this or about it, please step to the microphone and state who you are so that everybody knows who's speaking, especially our viewers at home. They always like to know who's talking. So if anybody would like to step up and speak. Well, seeing none, let me close the public session, bring it back to the board then. Any other comments or questions? We have some waivers we have to deal with. Two of them, I
I
believe.
just have one question that
Sure,
I'm just not
Nancy.
clear about. Why wouldn't the curb cut be widened just a little bit?
If we get to the point that we need to do that, Nancy, we will. I'm going to see if, look at Jen's comments first, and we can pull that over, and I'm actually going to see how specifically that is. Generally, there's a 6-foot section. If the sidewalk comes up 6 inches, the ADA code is that it has to come over 6 inches. So there may be this much that that would be the height of the backing over it. They would simply have to reset that curb, but we'll talk to Jay Perkins about it when we go to do this and make sure that he's okay with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
before you go to waivers, I have one other thing.
Sure.
All right. Mr. Boyd, Gwen brought up that we do need to see a 7th parking
Yeah.
space on the plan.
Yep.
In anticipation that we might be taking action on your plan this evening, can you tell us where that would be?
Absolutely, Aaron. Over here, it's very flat graded,
Yep.
so we'd probably add it just in front of here, and there again, we would expand those pavers so that
Okay.
it would be accomplished on that. So it would be right here in the flat graded
Okay.
section.
Could you point to that one more time? I'm sorry.
Well, be
Oh, that's
conditioned.
okay. Right down
Right,
here,
where that is.
Nancy?
Yes, thank you. I could see it that time.
Yep. Sorry about that.
No, it's my eyesight. It has to adjust. Parking. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now I don't. Oh, this one has it, okay. So shall we deal with the parking space layout waiver motion?
Sure.
Any thoughts about that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that this is pertaining to the two spots on the front of the property along the road. And as Mr. Boyd described, that's been an existing condition for a number of years. It's being expanded with this plan. But I do think, my opinion is that it does meet the requirements for a waiver. It's not contrary to public interest and et cetera. So if you'd like, I can make that motion.
Sure.
Does anybody
If you
else
would.
want to talk beforehand on it? Parking space layout waiver motion. After reviewing the criteria for granting waivers, I move that the request of 107, I'm going to say this wrong, Ponma Road LLC, Planning Board case number 24-11 for a waiver from section 9.13.5, required parking spaces to be arranged so that cars will not back into a public street, be approved.
Wait a minute.
Second.
Sounds like Pete seconded.
He
Is there a
did.
second?
Sounds like Pete did.
I did.
Thank you, Pete. I keep looking at the board. Forget you guys are there.
Volume's really
I need
low.
2 more screens there. Yeah, the incoming volume is low.
It is low.
Yeah.
I'm feeling rude.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second, so I'll start with you, John, just for a change,
To vote?
to vote.
Yeah, I'm voting no.
You're voting no? Okay, I vote yes.
We usually have a discussion too.
Oh, we have some more discussion.
Well,
Yes,
if people want to. We already started the vote, but
yeah.
anybody needs to discuss it further before you
Speak
vote,
up.
go right ahead, yeah.
Yep.
I'm in
Okay.
favor.
Do we need to,
Gwen?
can I,
Oops,
Oh.
Go ahead, Jen.
just Jen.
do we need to have a condition to that about the lining? Like he said that he was going to line the parking spaces up a little bit better so that the curb cut would not need to be widened.
Sure.
Would that be a condition of approval of this waiver?
It's a good question. Do we do that as a condition of
That
the
can be conditioned.
plan or have we done conditions of the waiver?
I was thinking it would be on the plan.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, Jen. That it
Okay,
would be on the
Okay.
plan.
be it on the plan?
But it certainly pertains to this waiver as well.
I'm fine with doing it on the plan. I just wasn't sure where, yeah, it's more of a question.
Good question.
Okay. So let's see. You voted.
I voted.
Yes, I voted. You did, you did. Did I get to you, Nancy?
Gwen?
I vote yes.
I vote no.
You vote no, 2 noes. Jen?
I vote yes.
3 yeses. And Pete?
Yes, because I seconded it.
Still have to vote.
Still have to vote.
To vote, yeah.
All right, yes,
That's a yes vote.
Yeah, so it's
I thought so.
5-2.
Yes, 5-2. And everybody's voted, so I declare that the vote is affirmative. Now we have the other plan requirement waiver motion, which deals with the 5 feet from property line, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's a different one.
9.
Property line's on the other side.
Oh, down here, okay.
If you want to do that one, we can.
Yeah.
Do that one first? Line?
Sure.
You want to do it?
Well, I have to in order to build this thing, even to demolish, whatever. Yep.
Yeah, so we all heard the presentation regarding this issue. It's pretty common in these more dense areas of town. And I think that they're making a concerted effort along that line with trees, working with sewer connections, and also pulling the property back a little bit further from the line than as it stands today. So I'm willing to make this motion. Does anybody want to discuss it before I do, or?
I'm good.
Okay. They look okay online?
Yep, yep. Jen, and you okay? Okay.
Good. Yep.
Grading within 5 feet of the property line waiver motion. After reviewing the criteria for grading for granting waivers, I move that the request of 107 Ponma Road LLC Planning Board Case Number 24-11 for a waiver from Section 9.3.6.4 of the Site Plan Review and Subdivision Regulations regarding grading within 5 feet of the property line be approved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, then we'll start voting. And Nancy, let's start with you, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Jen?
Aye.
And Pete?
Aye.
Thank you. So unanimous decision, and that passes. Thank you.
Lang, excuse me, what was the final vote on that?
7-0.
7-0, okay, thank you.
I don't understand this last one here, this other plan
Go to the other one
requirements.
first. Finish the other side first. These two.
Oh, okay. Why am I reading backwards
I
here?
don't know. You're asking me.
Wait a minute.
Just don't start talking.
Oh, okay.
Henry, did you put a waiver motion in for a waiver from the high-intensity soil survey, the HIS?
Yeah, and because we're going from septic to sewer, it's absolutely
Unnecessary.
totally
Yeah,
unnecessary.
so we're not going to take action on that because we don't feel you need it.
I don't think it's
You agree?
necessary. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I would agree with that.
I'll go with the next one, I guess. Keep it going.
What? I'll do it. if you-
Go ahead, Gwen.
doesn't matter.
Page
Go
2.
Variety is a spice of life.
Yeah, it is. This is a waiver for existing site conditions. After, excuse me, after reviewing the criteria for granting waivers, I move that the request of 107 Ponma Road LLC, Planning Board Case Number 24-11, for a waiver from Section 7.4.15 of the Site Plan Review and Subdivision Regulations to provide the shape, size, height, location, and use of all existing structures within 200 feet of the site be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on that one? Quite logical. Okay, let's start with Pete.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, Jen?
Aye.
Thank you. John?
Aye.
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 Oh, unanimous vote? That passes. Now, where are we? Page
On
2
the
yet?
last one.
That one doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't know what all those are.
Henry, would you mind, did you bring your book?
I did not.
Okay. Well,
Well,
Kristen.
slap on the
Kristen?
wrist for that one.
Kristen,
Someone's going to have to read those sections.
what is all that?
You don't have it in your packet by any chance?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I didn't
details,
either,
come on,
so
Henry, details.
I think Krista might be grabbing it.
She is.
Thank you.
It's in here.
I think we're going to ask somebody to read the sections that this waiver request applies to. It's section,
7.7.
yep, 7.7, 7.8, 7.9, 7.10, 7.11, 7.12, and 7.13.
Lucky 13.
All right.
Once upon a time.
Getting there. So 7.7,
7.7.
we're talking site plan?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe Henry can give us a little, just a quick summation. of what you-
Site plan
It's so long ago that I
regulations,
prepared this that I don't trust my memory. I'd like to see it in the book.
So 7.7 is pertaining to the construction plan. Do you need more
Details.
details than that?
No, that's fine.
Okay. 7.8 is the utilities plan. 7.9.
No? Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
7.9 is grading, drainage, and erosion and sediment control plan.
Okay.
So this is the requirements for these
Right.
Yeah, okay. 7:10, landscaping plan. 7:11, drainage improvements and stormwater management. 7:12, natural resource plan. And 7:13 is the yield plan.
It's which?
The yield plan.
Oh, yield, okay.
Yeah,
No,
so.
we don't need a yield plan, do we?
All right, so you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so in meeting with, I started by saying, in meeting with Doug originally and then Dave after. Initially, the thought was meeting with Doug, we wouldn't even need planning board approval, but it was because of the impact. In looking at all of those things, they anticipate a very large project
Yeah.
where
right.
you have extensive amounts of open earth and everything else, where we have a pretty simple project with not a whole lot of grading on the site. It's very flat. We do show the pavers, the details and those things. And as far as the engineering, would only really pertain to the sewer line itself, which we have designed is on the plan. I have no issue with what Jen said, and I'm glad she brought it up. We'll look at that detail for the pavers, but I think that it satisfies everything for a project of this size. So I think that waiver is more than merited.
I think, what's the square footage change from building square footage now to post-construction?
Yeah, so the building coverage is actually, I think it's a little bit less. So the existing building coverage is 3188 square feet, which is 21.4% of the lot.
Yeah.
And we're going to 30 square feet, which is 20.8. It's not a huge reduction, but there's actually still a reduction in it.
Huge reduction, yeah.
We also have a slight reduction in the impervious area.
Oh, really?
But it's the lot coverage that's larger because you don't take credit for, you don't allow credit for impervious structures. So if it's, whether it's pervious or whether it's not, it's still considered lot coverage. So that is actually increasing. But the pervious area, the impervious area on the lot is not increasing.
Is it decreasing? By the structure size, I would say it is.
It's decreasing, Aaron, but only by
Slightly.
0.2%.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
you're
much.
also going to porous parking materials, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Is there asphalt now or just gravel?
There is some asphalt, there isn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
If you look in the front, there's hard-packed gravel in the area that we're expanding in the width.
Yeah.
And the existing paved driveway goes just slightly beyond the existing structure.
Yeah. Okay.
There is a stone wall down here that's going to be removed, but it's not substantial. So there's a very slight reduction in sealed surface.
Okay.
Not much.
Are the neighbors here at all? No?
They were present and pretty vocal at the original hearing of the zoning board.
Yeah.
So I know these fellows have done a lot to try to satisfy them, and I think the end result is going to be a whole lot better than what's been out there for a long time.
Sure. Well, I think the biggest thing with the waivers that this part of the regulation, the waivers you're requesting from this part of the regulation is primarily impact potentially on abutters.
Correct.
Stormwater primarily, right? That's the long and the short of it. I think they all kind of tie into that. It is not an increase, and that's good news. You are going to sewer, city sewer, which is a big deal, versus private septic, which, and bringing in a abutter that way too is a good improvement for all
Absolutely.
as well, so.
And they are doing some landscaping, even though
Yes.
landscaping is one of those.
Right.
So, yeah.
Any questions about it?
Any questions
None.
on any of those? Pete or Jen?
No,
I guess my
nothing
only
here.
question, I think my question would just be, I feel like we discussed a lot of changes to the plan that would show up on a landscaping plan or on, some of the details that we usually ask for that are being waived. So I guess I just want to make sure that those things become conditions of approval.
And I can actually add the location of those trees. And also, probably wouldn't be a bad idea just to show some silt fencing on that one side
Yeah.
that we're doing it, and I think that would cover it.
Yep.
But to document it on the plan is a good
Yep.
idea.
So, Jim, what I had potentially as conditions right now, not worded well yet. Add seventh parking spot per the ZBA condition as described by Mr. Boyd, because you did kind of describe it on the plan.
Yep.
Minimum of 10 arborvitaes on the property line near the new structure.
How about say to be shown on the plan?
Sure.
Because he said he would do that. Just add that to it, would you, yeah, go ahead. No.
And, well, no, that's okay. And this is just throwing it out there,
Yeah,
so
sure.
she understands we're catching them. Jen, if I miss something, this would be great to bring it up, because I
Listen.
can't miss it, so.
Yeah, I think you're good so far.
Handle the paver concern, sizing,
Yeah.
whatever that means. And then I think it should be on this too, the note saying applicant will coordinate sewer connection with the neighbor to get both properties off private septic and onto public sewer. That's what I have.
And then there's the parking lot, the 2 parking space alignment with the curb cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
thank you.
Anything else?
I think these are all going to be conditions of a potential approval, not being addressed at the waiver level.
Correct.
So just so I'm clear, the paver part is that it's, the paver, Jen, is for, because there's 2 different types. Right now, it's talking about a walkway and it needs to be a paver for a driveway. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
And Henry, you brought up something about a silt fence too?
Yeah, I think along that easterly border, where that's going to be the main part of the excavation.
Yep.
It doesn't really run off and slope a whole lot. There's only about a foot of vertical change from the house, or 1.5 feet. But I think that would be a good idea, just to keep the site tidier
Yep.
on that easterly property line.
Okay. All right. Are we all in alignment on this last waiver? You want to go for it?
Sure. Mr. Chair, do you want me to do the last waiver?
Sure, please.
After reviewing the criteria for granting waivers, I move that the request of 107 Ponma Road LLC, Planning Board Case Number 2411, for a waiver from Sections 7.7, 7.8, 7.9, 7.10, 7.11, 7.12, and 7.13 be approved.
Second?
Second.
You got it, Nancy did it.
Nancy did, okay. I'm not always sure where it's coming
It's
from.
okay.
But
You can have it if you want.
Okay, moved and seconded. Yeah, check it, yeah, yeah. Any other discussion? Pete or Jen? Okay, I'll call for the vote, and let's start with Nancy.
Aye.
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 Pete?
Aye.
Jen?
Aye.
Thank you. Unanimous, so it carries. All right. Now, are we down to the,
You have to ask Kristen to read her typical conditions.
yeah. Do you have some conditions that Dave always reads to us with, and we haven't memorized them yet?
I don't have them memorized, but I will happily read them.
Okay, if you'd start off, and then we'll do the,
And I did kind of capture what you had said for the additional, but these are the suggested conditions of approval. An electronic as-built plan with details acceptable to the town shall be provided prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy for any units. This plan must be in a DWG or DXF file format and an NAD 1983 State Plan, New Hampshire, FIPS 2800 feet coordinates. Number 2, all monumentation shall be set in accordance with section 9.2.5 of the site plan review and subdivision regs prior to signing the final plans. Number 3, a stormwater management operation and maintenance plan checklist for the stormwater features on site shall be provided to the satisfaction of the town planner and town engineer prior to signing the final plans. This checklist shall be completed and submitted to the town engineer annually on or before January 31st. This requirement shall be an ongoing condition of approval. Number 4, all applicable state permit approval numbers shall be noted on the final plans. All appropriate fees to be paid, including but not limited to sewer water connection fees, impact fees, and inspection fees, including third-party inspections, prior to the issuance of a building permit or certificate of occupancy, whichever is applicable as determined by the town. All comments in the Underwood Engineer Incorporated letter dated August 1, 2024.
We never got a letter.
Yeah.
Didn't get that.
Okay.
You know, I was going to say.
I suspect that's a cut and paste issue because I didn't
Yeah,
see that in the
no.
application. All landscaping showed on plans.
No, there's none.
The applicant shall submit the land use and stormwater management information about the project using PTAP online.
Didn't do it. We waived that
We
requirement.
waived that.
Yeah.
Okay. All condo documents,
We do need that. We do need that.
including the declaration and bylaws, shall be submitted to the town planner for review and approval prior to signing the final plans. In the event the town planner deems that review is needed by town attorney, this review shall be at the applicant's expense. Final plans shall show any significant trees that will be removed to accommodate proposed developments. If any significant trees are identified to be removed, they shall be replaced at a 1-to-1 ratio with native deciduous trees with a minimum of 3-inch caliper and shown on the final plans. That is the last one that he included. Do you want me to read the ones you talked about?
Sure. Let's take a shot at it.
And
If you think you got it, I can do it too. Whatever's easier for
okay,
you.
I will try.
Okay.
The applicant will provide an additional spot for a total of 7 spaces in accordance with the ZBA condition. The applicant to plant a minimum of 10 arborvitae placed every 4 feet near the new structure to be shown on, this shall be shown on the revised plans. A revised plan detail to specify paver width sufficient for driveway use to be included.
Sewer connection?
The applicant will consult with the highway department to determine the parking need for roadside curb cut expansion. I may have elaborated on that one a little bit, actually.
That's a tough one, I know.
Maybe I'll skip that one for now.
Okay.
Applicant to add silt fence on the eastern border of the property to the plans. Applicant to coordinate septic connection with the neighbor to the west, with the Department of Public Works.
Yeah, I would just say sewer connection instead of septic.
Oh, sorry.
And I would say from private to public sewer.
Yep. And then it was not discussed, but I didn't know if there's a requirement to address the existing septic tank, if there's a plan to pump
What
and
they're gonna do
fill
with
it,
it.
what will,
Yeah, that's a state reg.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think you have to fill it in.
I think so.
Yeah, generally,
Yeah.
generally they'll crush them and fill them.
Yeah. So that should definitely be part of it. I mean, it should be done anyway, but it should be on the plan, really.
applicant to modify plan to include final disposition of the septic in accordance with state requirements.
Sure.
Yeah.
All they have to do is make a note. All they have to do is make a note that they're doing it. You know what I mean? So they don't have to make a big
Yeah.
picture of it.
You
Just,
know what to do.
Yeah, no detail. That would do it.
so,
The one,
Jen, do you have a shot at the front parking space alignment with the curb cut? Do you have a wording for that one?
No. Well, Henry, were you gonna like draw it, like redraw it? Should we just, I don't know, like submit?
I guess my thought would be is that I can try to get a better alignment so that would be, I hate to make you a motion, but it would be to realign the park and if necessary, coordinate any curb expansion with the DPW.
That sounds good.
That sounded beautiful.
That's good. Stick around, we could use you.
Yeah. Okay. I think.
That got pretty well covered?
Chris, I just have one. On the seventh parking space, did you specify that it be shown on the plan? Or did you just say there needed to be a seventh spot?
Oh, it'd be shown on the plan.
I think it should
Oh,
be
absolutely,
shown on the
yes,
plan.
yeah.
Well, he had it.
It is a
he had it-
requirement of ZBA, it's got to be
he
shown
had
on the
a place
plan.
for it, but
Yes.
probably should be shown.
So should I reread it? Or just, I don't remember what I said, to be honest.
Oh, you don't have it written?
I mean,
I can do that.
roughly have it
Okay, you
written.
go.
So we're gonna redo that condition, and it's gonna say, add 7th parking spot as per the ZBA condition to equal a total of 7 spaces in the area described by Mr. Boyd during the hearing. Because he showed us on the plan where it was
he
gonna
did.
go.
Add to the
But I thought
plan.
it should be added to the plan.
Add to
Yes,
the plan.
added to the plan.
Added to the plan, yeah.
That's it.
And then, I'm still a little bit worried about the pavers, and I wonder, it
You
maybe
mean the
this is-
size of the type of the pavers?
Yeah, and I don't know, I think Jen mentioned, just the integrity of the driveway paver is important, to assure the integrity of the driveway once it's completed, so I don't know enough about walkway pavers and driveway.
I think what we could do is just say ensure that the paver chosen for the driveway is suitable for the driveway.
That works.
For vehicular use.
We did, it's on there,
Yeah.
but it was,
You didn't
I
like
just
it?
felt like it needed to be beefed.
Beefed up? What it,
And
well,
I
you
don't-
should probably
I
do
didn't-
it then.
Yeah.
Can you reread that condition, Kristen, please?
Yes. Revised plan detailed to specify paver width sufficient for driveway use is how I worded it.
With?
Paver size, I would say. 'Cause
Yeah, I would say paver
It's
type.
the overall dimension, or
type.
paver type.
Maybe density.
Little thickness and density.
Pa-
of the driveway.
yeah.
Paver specifications?
I would say paver type is
Paver
suitable
type.
for vehicular access.
But also what's underneath the paper, holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we
Good
got,
editing.
that's detailed on the plan here, yeah.
So, shall I read it again?
You have a job after retirement, Henry.
Yeah. That's what I need, another job.
Shall I read it again?
Please.
Revised plan detailed to specify paver type sufficient for driveway use suitable for, oh, sorry. One more time. Revised plan detailed to specify paver type suitable for vehicular use.
That worked.
Perfect.
How's that, Jen?
Thank you.
That's good for me.
Okay.
Sorry about that. All right, want another waiver, or want
Another waiver?
Not a
Okay.
final motion, I mean. I think we've done enough.
You ready to make a motion?
I will if you want.
Okay, please do.
I move that the request of 107 Ponmar Road LLC, Planning Board Case Number 24-11, for multifamily site plan approval be approved, with the conditions that have been outlined by Kristen Murphy
And Aaron did one of them, but I second.
Yeah, I did end up doing one.
and Henry.
Not sure that's proper.
Yeah. It's all right, we accepted it, and I second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Pete or, no? Okay. All right. Nancy, let's start with you, please.
Aye.
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 Jen?
Aye.
And Pete?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay. That's 6 ayes and 1 abstention. Motion carries.
Thank you. It's good to see you all.
Thank you.
Good luck with your project.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a great trip, Henry.
Oh, thank you.
Where are you going?
Oh, have wonderful time.
Okay. Where are we now?
The Airy Family Trust.
The next item on the agenda's application by Berry Family Trust for a minor subdivision of an existing 4.37 acre parcel into 2 single-family residential lots. The subject property is located at 165A Kingston Road in the R1 Low-Density Residential Zoning District. It is tax map 115-12 and planning board case number 24-9.
I'm going to recuse. I'm good.
And I would ask,
So, Mr. Chair, I'm going to recuse myself from this case.
excuse me?
I'm going to recuse myself from this application.
Okay, thank you. See the minutes reflects that. So we first need a motion, I think, to open this case.
Talk to, make sure.
Well, is it ready to be heard?
Yes.
Okay. Excuse for making the assumption. That being the case, I would look for a motion to accept this case.
I'll make a motion to accept planning board case number 24-9.
Thank you, John. Is there a second?
Second.
Did I hear a second or not?
Pete did.
Pete?
I did.
Thank you, Pete. Oops, I changed the picture. He's here, okay. All right.
Who did I become?
So, back to our voting. How about we start with Pete?
You're okay.
Yes. Or aye.
Did he-
Whatever applies.
Okay. And Jen?
Aye.
Thank you. John?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there are now our...
You can have them turn his mic up. Is that on, it's got to be on our end, right?
I would think we could do it on this end.
Sitting close enough to it, you know.
Pete.
I can hear him fine over the Zoom.
You can?
So
what's up?
yeah, I think
It's us.
It's us.
It's wax in our ears.
Jen, you just spoke really loud. Were you closer to your mic or? Jen?
no, maybe I was just speaking loud.
Okay. Pete.
Sorry.
Pete, can you speak?
Can I speak?
That's better.
Did you hear it?
Yeah,
That was much better. You're coming very faint, but right now maybe they turned us up. I think they turned it up.
they could have. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So let's see
welcome.
now. We took a vote to hear the case, so I will ask Kristen if she would start us off on this particular case, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The applicant submitted a minor subdivision application, plans, and supporting documents dated June 25th, 2024, which were enclosed in your packet. They appeared before the Zoning Board of Adjustment at the June 18th meeting seeking relief from the minimum lot frontage requirement for both of the proposed lots, and that variance was requested. A copy of the notice of decision letter and the minutes are in your packet. There, again, was no technical review committee meeting. However, plans were reviewed by staff for compliance with zoning and subdivision regulations, and there are no waivers being requested in conjunction with this application. Should you, Dave did provide some conditions of approval, should you find you're ready to approve the request.
Okay. Thank you. Floor is yours, sir.
All right, my name is JJ McBride. I'm a professional engineer at Emmanuel Engineering. I'm here with my clients of the Berry Family Trust. The location of, so this, we're seeking as Kristen said, a 2-lot subdivision, single family, at 165A Kingston Road, on Route 111. So it's right on like the Exeter, Brentwood, Kingston line. Let's see. So parcel is about 4.4 acre parcel. It's currently used, it's been used as the as an excavating business. There's no direct frontage on Kingston Road. There's been a 50-foot wide access easement right along here that's been used to access the property. Generally, the slopes from south to north. And it's relatively flat in the middle where it's cleared on the fringes. It's more it's wooded up around here with opening in here. There's currently a garage right over here, and some chicken coops over here. Some storage bins along here, concrete pad, and then there's some various stockpiles up there. As Kristen mentioned, we went in front of the June 18th ZBA and were granted a variance for both of the proposed lots having less than the required frontage. There's some wetlands too, kind of scattered about on the fringes of the property. Show you the subdivision plan. So we're proposing to pretty much split it right up the middle here. The driveway, existing one, is here, and before it gets to the subdivision, we propose that it splits into two separate driveways. As I mentioned, it's two lot, single family. The lot on the left is about 2.26 acres, and the lot on the right is 2.11. The lot on the left has 300 feet of frontage on that private 50-foot right-of-way, and the lot on the right is 26 feet. Let's see here. We're currently showing 5-bedroom houses for both lots. And then they're both meeting the setbacks and buffers required by the town. We show.
Could you speak a little louder, please?
Yeah. So the buildings meet the buffers and the setbacks of the town. There's a 400 square foot septic reserve area for both of them, shown in purple there.
Mm-hmm.
And the well radius is with the darker green there and there. And then this plan just shows just the contours and the different soils of the plan. And I think that's all I've got right now. I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Questions?
Let's see, public. Any public comment?
Sure. Any public comments? Open to the public. Dan, you know the routine. Please step. And nobody knows you, so.
Nobody knows me.
You're on TV, so.
All this fancy stuff since I said.
Yeah, okay.
Many years ago. Is this Mike 5?
Certainly.
My name is Dan Jones. I live at 181 Kingston Road. I'm the butter on the west and the northerly side of this parcel.
Down there, okay.
I have no problem with the subdivision. I would, as a technical point, I'm not sure that these two lots have ever been divided from the house lot. This is turning one lot into 3 lots. It's not a 2-lot subdivision, it's a 3-lot subdivision to my mind.
The original house was 25 years ago, something.
It was? Okay.
Could you introduce yourself,
My
sir?
neighbor's right behind you, Dan.
That's fine.
Could you introduce yourself, sir, so we know who's speaking?
This is
Could you
the
introduce?
property of the Byron
I'm
Family
Dennis
Trust.
Barry, I'm the owner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
why you have no frontage.
I'm going to say 1998, Karen? 97. It was subdivided.
I stand corrected.
Okay.
Except for that, I've got no objections. I guess your plan does include a little mile of land, but I have a large tract of land, which will wind up as conservation land at some point in the near future, but that's a whole other matter. There's tricky soil, but I think they've accommodated it in this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
The existing garage on the, I don't know, was the number of the right-handed lot, that's staying,
Yes, yep. Yeah,
goes with that lot.
yep.
The orange one there? Yes.
Yeah, that one's to stay. The chicken coop is to be removed.
Yeah. Removed or moved?
Removed.
Removed.
There was a plan that was in our packet also from June 25th. And I was really confused because it shows a very different layout from what you are showing today.
What's the number of that sheet? Right, bottom right corner.
Sheet C2?
Oh, maybe, I see. We got back-to-back sheets.
Recorded plan.
Yeah.
Cover,
This is probably old.
It's C2.
one C2.
The date that's...
Okay.
Oh, that's what it was received.
And C3, okay.
93. This is when, I think this is a plan when you subdivided. Did you do the subdivision?
In manual.
Yeah, we did the
93?
work. Which was that?
In 93?
Oh,
You said
Fred
nine-
did.
Fred did? Okay, yeah, I wasn't working there at that point.
That's what this is.
So this
This
is
is the
the-
house subdivision.
That's the original subdivision. Okay. I was totally confused by that. Okay.
Okay.
Probably the thing I'd like to hear more about, you went to the zoning board, obviously got relief from a pretty substantial requirement, which is 200 feet of road frontage. So that leads us into the easement and access issue. Can you further elaborate on that, how that's gonna be handled?
So just as far as accessing the sites? Is
Yeah.
that what- So, the plan is to have this remain as a gravel road. And then before it gets to the subdivision, that driveway will kind of just split into two. So that would be, and that way you wouldn't have to have easements on each of the lot if you had like a shared driveway going all the way down the middle. So, the lot on the left, it would split and stay on the left side of that subdivision line and then pull into the house. And then on the right lot, it would stay on the right side of the subdivision line and then pull up here into that house.
So once you hit the subject properties,
They're split already, yeah.
it's separate access, but
Yeah.
until then it's shared.
Yep.
And it's gonna be gravel?
That's the plan at this point. Yeah.
And have you determined a maintenance agreement for that?
Not at this point. I don't know, Dennis, I don't know if you can speak to any of, is there one currently? Because Because the lot's current,
I've maintained it since 1996.
Yeah.
My wife and I are talking about building a house on the right lot.
Yep.
And I think once we get into where it splits, owners want to pave from there, pave it,
Sure.
keep it.
Once they're on their own land.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, from my experience, shared access can create challenges depending on personalities. And the best way to avoid that is a written agreement.
Yeah, yeah.
So, my thought
Looking
would
down
be,
the road in the future, yeah.
yeah, as a condition of a potential approval this evening, I would suggest that we would be looking for that, before the plan gets signed, and leaving it realistically to Dave Sharples, the town planner's discretion regarding that. He's a common sense guy, and if he thinks it's too crazy, he's going to kick it back our way. But those are pretty important because that impacts a lot of things. In the marketplace, for example, if you use a government-backed loan, so if you sold one of those lots or both of them to a buyer who was, say, a veteran, and they were getting a VA loan, if you have a shared access and you don't have a written agreement, they can't get a VA loan. So it's relevant in that regard as well, and it's just good common sense.
Yeah. Looking ahead, yeah. So getting to the barn, is that common, or is that going to be part of the driveway thing for the house on the right? Existing barn? Yeah,
this here,
yes,
so that is actually existing right now.
yeah, okay.
Oops.
Garage.
Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's existing now. And we're not changing anything at this point in our plans.
Okay,
The existing road from Kingston Road up to where it splits is wide enough for two-way traffic?
This stretch
Yeah.
here, you think so? Okay.
Like, what is it?
And a little spur off to the right?
So that actually, I believe it accesses this lot here.
Do you know how wide it is, just by footage?
The driveway now is 12 feet.
12 feet.
And I have planned, if this is approved, to widen it to 16.
Okay. What is our,
Regulation on that?
yeah,
so that should be a condition.
16 is probably tight.
what's our reg? What's our reg for driveway?
It
Is
should be
that-
private road, really. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
reg, so I think it's 20 feet, I think. I think it's 20 feet for, it's almost like a private road. She'll check it. She's checking it.
And she's working a book tonight.
I know it. Overtime.
Sorry.
Well, she's looking at that. The structure, it looks like it might be a bay for putting soils in. It's the forked, it's right on the property line
Here we go.
in lot, I don't, so keep going up. I don't even see it on that one.
So should I move to this plan?
Yeah, that one looks like a big E with an extra. Right there,
those
yeah.
those are concrete storage bins right now.
So for
So-
loam and,
Stone,
yep,
bark mulch,
okay,
And
that's what I
and I
figured.
believe those will be removed as well.
yeah, those will be gone.
Okay, okay. Okay,
So the access easement exists now,
Yep.
and that is across the the property to the right. Is that owner here? You're the owner of the land that the access will go over?
This one here.
Yes. Can I speak to you? The mic, please.
I think that's his way.
I don't know.
I think.
Thank you. Can you just state your name?
Karen Benzis.
Thank you very much.
So that's the biggest, from my planning board hat perspective, the only concern I have at all with this plan is just the access. So, and you're comfortable with it as presented? And essentially, if it does need to be widened, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
That's
it.
good. Yep. For the record, we appreciate
Just like to make sure.
What's
Yeah, we
that?
had to cover our
For the
bases,
record,
you know
we
what I mean?
appreciate that.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll make it, yes.
If you're here, let's hear it, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have the width if you're.
Yes.
So for 3 to 4 lots served, width of road is 16 to 18 foot
Okay.
of pavement, so right in
All right,
line
so
with
we're
what
right
he's
at it.
proposing.
So if he says 16, that works. Wider than it is now, a little bit.
A little bit,
Yeah.
4 feet.
Do you know how is that easement official, or is it just something you guys have done at this
No, it's
point?
official.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I believe that other plan has got
That was
the
done in
easement on there.
1990.
With the subdivision?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, I see it. See if it says.
And it would need to be, it does identify paved road
Paved.
in the
For a
requirements.
private road.
Well, a road that serves 3 lots, it says 16 to 18 foot paved.
Okay, so the access easement described in the subdivision plan from 1993 says 12 feet. So we should suggest that gets expanded to 16. Sounds like that's okay with everybody in the room?
Yeah.
And the question is, are we going to require it to be paved? But from my perspective, personally, I think it's unnecessary in this case. They've already gotten ZBA relief from the road frontage requirement. So with that, I think the existing condition is adequate in terms of gravel type material. And it sounds like you're going to potentially build on one of the lots anyway. As long as people know what they're getting into, you know. I know Gwen doesn't like to see more pavement in the town Exeter than is
No.
necessary.
No, and I just realized my neighbor has a very similar situation, and it's a very narrow dirt driveway, so.
You know how
Seems to
narrow it
work.
is?
I don't exactly, but it's.
16 feet's
it's
pretty good
probably-
size, though.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It's probably 12.
I think it is. It's pretty narrow.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect anything here, right? I don't see any impact by making it wider.
No, they have the room to do it.
Yeah.
John, you're pretty quiet this evening.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jen, any comments?
Even quieter.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I lost my mute button. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. Pete, are you okay?
No. I've lost the pictures here, but where is this property located on near Pickpocket? I'm still a little confused as to, is this way further out 111, or is it near where Pickpocket goes off?
So it's pretty close to the Exeter-Brentwood border.
Well, okay, let's.
Yeah, East Kingston, you mean?
East Kingston.
Kingston and East Kingston, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
It's not too far from Pickpocket, actually.
Okay, so it's headed out, it's out, continuing out west, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Or south and west?
Crossroad and the Exeter Brentwood line. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
a corner.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I have a quick question again.
Yes.
Back to the existing garage that's on the upper right-hand lot. So currently that's obviously used by you.
Yes.
So if you.
Maintenance.
For maintenance. So if you didn't end up putting a house in that other lot for yourself, and stayed on your existing lot, how do you need that garage, or is that something that you're,
Well,
you know, will you give an
estimates
agreement?
to replace that garage of $250,000 to $300,000. It has a 15-foot ceiling, overhead crane.
So it's for
It would be good
mechanical.
for a motorhome. I have a gooseneck trailer in it now,
Yeah,
a boat, and a '63 Corvette.
nice. That's a garage.
There's a lot of room.
So but I'm just wondering, because that's on a different lot from the one you're on, it will be on a different lot from the one you're in now, where you call home. Is that correct? Am I confusing?
I think
this?
I think you're right. So if you don't build on that lot,
Yeah?
so what happened?
The
That
garage
will
would go
be-
with it.
What's
It
that?
would.
Yeah, that's all in the same lot, the garage and,
Okay, but that's your plan then, to, you know?
Okay. I just was worried about you not having a garage if you didn't build a house.
I'm worried about it too.
Well, we're both worried about it then.
That's my excuse.
Okay. All right, I wanted to check.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody else in the public like to speak? Well, let me close the public portion of the session, bring it back to the board, see if we can move ahead. Let's see.
No
Dave?
waivers.
No waivers. And Dave has a couple conditions listed here. We've come up with one or two other conditions, have we not?
I've got one.
Yeah, one, okay.
I haven't worded it well yet, but
Well, would you like to share that with us, how you got that noted?
sure. Well, I can.
Where's Henry?
It's going to be a long, drawn-out thing if I just ramble at it.
Okay, well, make it concise.
Trying. Okay, so there will be, I would say as a condition would be regarding the access to the new lots, that there would be a written access agreement which would be added to the potential deeds of these properties, and that the access will be expanded to 16 feet, which will be shown on the amended plan or modified plan.
Would it be better if we separated the second
Sure.
as a separate?
Two conditions?
Condition?
Sure. So number one is that the access agreement will be in writing for access and maintenance to the two new lots, and that would be added to any deeds. And number two, the access itself will expand to a minimum of 16 feet, which will be added to the plan.
Any others, John, that you?
That sound okay to
The
you?
width of the driveway was a concern.
And that would be gravel.
I didn't get into it, so yeah, as presented, gravel's fine. Fine for my condition. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you want to hear the normal ones from Kristen?
Did you have any else?
Good.
No? Sure.
You have the,
Kristen, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. condition number 3, I guess. A DWG file of the plan shall be provided to the town planner showing all property lines and monumentation prior to signing of the final plans. This plan must be in NAD 1983 State Plane, New Hampshire, FIPS 2,800 feet coordinates. And for all monumentation shall be set in accordance with section 9.25 of site plan review and subdivision regs prior to signing the final plans.
I can make a motion if you're looking for one, Mr. Chair.
Sure, go right ahead, please.
Minor subdivision motion. I move that the request of the, I hope I get this right, Byrie, thank you. Byrie Family Trust.
Close.
Enunciation, right? Planning Board case number 24-9 for a minor subdivision be approved with the conditions as read.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Pete, Jen? Okay. Let's start with you, Gwen, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Gwen? Excuse me, Jen?
Other Gwen?
Sounds like Gwen, but it's Jen.
Aye.
Thank you. Pete?
Aye.
Okay. Unanimous, that's a 6. Because once the person stepped down, 6-0 or 6? Yep. Unanimous decision, that's approved. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck. Yeah.
Have fun.
Don't lose your building.
Yeah, right.
We're there for you.
Hold on tight to this.
Every Corvette needs a barn.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care. Thank you.
Okay.
One more.
Next item on the agenda is the application of the Copley Properties LLC for a design review of the proposed subdivision of an existing 169.8 acre parcel at 119 Pasek Road in Newfields and Exeter. The Exeter portion of the subject property is...
Take care.
I'll come up and knock on your door.
Gentlemen, if you could...
Is he buying beers? What?
I was chairman, I did.
Okay, let me start over again. The application of the Copley Properties LLC for a design review of the proposed subdivision of an existing 169.880 acre parcel of at 119 Pasek Road in Newfields and Exeter. The Exeter portion of the subject property is located in the R1 Low Density Residential Zoning District. Tax map parcels number 10-1, 10-2, 10-3, 10-4, 10-5, 10-6, 10-7, 11-11, and 19-16. Planning Board case number 24-10. And Kristen.
Yes, Mr. Chair, legal counsel is present for the board tonight, so I would recommend, if you will, to recess downstairs to have a conversation with legal counsel prior to hearing this case.
All right, so this.
Okay, so we'll recess. We don't have to vote on now.
No, we have to vote to do that.
To do that.
You do you have the RSA?
I don't.
I understand we don't have to now.
If you just want to do a non-meeting.
Non-meeting, we don't need an RSA, okay. I'll
Non-meeting.
move to go to non-meeting.
Second.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
am I going to be able to participate in the non-meeting, or is it possible to stay in this room and have others leave?
I can FaceTime you, Jen.
Oh, okay, that would work. Do you know my number?
Oh, yeah.
I don't really want to give mine out.
No, it's okay. So can I throw an option out there? I was downstairs cleaning up the wheelwright room, and I was going to suggest we ask the public to go down to the wheelwright room, and we can close the doors and stay in this room.
Oh, sure.
Is that
we can do
okay?
that, Sure.
Reversed.
Trusting the public is willing to do so.
Is that okay with us? Okay. You have nice, comfortable chairs.
No
and
fighting down there. Nice.
And, doors unlocked if you want to go out and get some air. There's no way of knowing.
Not that long.
We'll send a scout down by midnight.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me get those out. She's going to get those, okay? Thank you for asking, Jen.
Thank you for tuning in
I'll
to
come back.
Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Where do you have to go back to tonight? Are you local or are you up
I live up in New Hampton,
in New Hampton?
so
Bit of
just
a-
off the highway.
Bit of a drive.
That's hot. That one's hot, yeah, there you go.
See my tea bag?
A medical emergency.
Someone's gonna wake you up. Sleeping over there.
Push the button for the hot.
Told Lang to punch you a couple times. You couldn't reach.
Hit me with the
He's doing okay.
You didn't see that?
No.
This I have my
wish
left
I did.
hand.
Is that on?
I have this twitch.
This bump on the side of the head, he kind of, boom, gave you a side stroke.
On the Energy Committee.
Okay.
The energy stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Without taking attendance, I believe these are all the people that were here before. Thank you, and thank you for your patience. So, what to do
Are
with my
we back-
agenda?
Do we know for sure we're back on?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Copley Properties LLC.
I was not-
Planning Board number
I was not-
24-10.
Oh, hold on.
Excuse me.
Peters.
Yes.
I was not present at that first meeting.
But
What meeting?
That's right, what meeting?
This is,
I've forgotten there was another meeting.
Okay.
Is this a?
Well, there was reference to an earlier memorandum of some sort. I'm not going to raise any issue because I've been out for quite a long period of time, but I'm getting behind on this particular issue, which is a little troubling, but I'll have to let it go.
Yeah, Pete, I think this is the first meeting.
yeah, this
This
is.
is, Pete, this is the first meeting on this matter.
You have this
Well, then what's this prior memorandum about then?
agenda?
It's the memo in,
Or letter,
do
from
some-
Dave.
or something?
I can use this one.
It's the memo in the board packet from Dave Sharples dated September 4th.
Oh, yes.
All right, well,
Yep.
if that's public knowledge, may I have a copy of it?
Yes, it's posted on the town's website and you should have received it.
All right, thank you. I should have known that. And never ask a question like that again.
Okay.
Okay, so would you like me to, I'm going to recuse myself from this matter.
Okay.
Is this a good time to do that?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming this evening.
I'll be out in the hall,
Okay.
just in case you bring up other things at the end.
All right, now, where are we?
I don't,
This is just a,
they get to say what we're addressing.
Yeah, you didn't.
the applicant supplied, well, okay, I'll read this. This is a little more detail. Application of Copley Properties LLC for design review of the proposed subdivision of an existing 169.80 acre parcel at 119 Passac Road. Piscassic Road, thank you, in Newfields and Exeter. Exeter portion of the subject property is located in the R1 low-density residential zoning district, tax map parcels number 10-1, 10-2, 10-3, 10-4, 10-5, 10-6, 10-7, 11-11, and 19-16, and it's planning board case number 24-10, and it's a design review, so we're not accepting anything. It's a discussion kind of meeting.
That's the agenda.
But I'd ask to start maybe to have Kristen review Dave's notes.
Thank you,
Please.
Mr. Chair. As you mentioned, this is a design review application only and not a formal application to the board. Design review is covered under New Hampshire RSA 676-4 that allows the planning board and the applicant to engage in a non-binding discussion of the proposal. As this is design review and abutters have been notified, the board can discuss matters beyond general and conceptual discussions, which can involve specific engineering details and design. At the same time, this is not a formal submission, so staff will not provide a complete review through the technical review process unless a formal application is submitted. That said, the application doesn't involve any development in Exeter, so this is Dave typing, so I do not believe there is anything for you to review. Dave's unclear on what the applicant is seeking as part of this review. The applicant did submit a yield plan as part of the submission, but they utilized NWI, which stands for National Wetlands Inventory, wetland data, which is not what the town requires. If the applicant wishes to hear comments on the yield plan, they should show the field delineated wetlands and/or vernal pools and return to the board for comment. Dave did watch the Newfields Planning Board, and the applicant's representative did say the wetlands had been delineated, so he's unclear why they're not on the plans. Regardless, he would advise the board that there is nothing to review at this point. In the event the board determines that the design review process has ended, he would suggest the board make that determination with a vote. If the board determines that additional review is needed, he would ask the board to table the item until a date certain, and he has provided memos related to that for your convenience. There is an issue of which the board should be aware, but which is not within the purview of the planning board. Specifically, town's assessing database shows tax maps 1111, 1916, 101, 102, 103, 104, and 105 are owned by the town. However, the Ruggs also claim ownership of these properties, and the plan they have submitted indicates that they own them. This matter is a title issue that will have to be resolved outside of the planning board process. That said, our application requires the signature of all property owners to be on the application. As this is only design review and there isn't anything to review as stated earlier, he would suggest that the board inform the applicant that any formal application has to have all the property owners' signatures. Thank you.
Thank you. Who is speaking this evening?
I am. So, again, I'm JJ McBride of Manual Engineering. Actually, you want me to go, or are you guys? Anything else? Good to go?
You're good.
So, I'm JJ McBride, professional engineer at Manual Engineering. The owner of the property is the Olive Rug Trust. They're not here today. The applicant is Copley Properties. We got Drew Goddard of Copley Properties with me here. The parcel is located at, as Kristen said, 119 Piscassic Road in Newfields. It's right on the Newfields Exeter line with about 122 acres in Newfields and what our surveyors have found about 47 acres plus or minus in Exeter. It's right off of Oaklands Road, which extends from Exeter into Newfields. We're here as a preliminary at this point, and we're here for any feedback. Everything that we're presenting is subject to change, but the general design is shown of what we intend. As Kristen mentioned, there's no proposed development in Exeter, but we're just here pretty much to keep you all in the loop of what's going on. We presented last month in Newfields, a preliminary also, so we want to keep Exeter up to date in what we're planning as well. So the existing condition is mostly undeveloped lands. There's a house up in the northern part, and there's like a barn, some supplementary buildings for the existing landscaping business on site. Right in here, it's kind of like a mowed open field area, and then pretty much everywhere else is pretty much forested with trails throughout the property. And as you can see, there's in the yellow, there's wetlands scattered about. As shown, as Kristen mentioned, it's from the National Wetlands Inventory, so this is not the surveyed wetlands. The wetlands were delineated by Hurley Environmental and were surveyed by James Vare and Associates. I believe they're still processing the data, so we haven't received any CAD files to put on the plan, so that's why they're not being shown at this point. So this is a preliminary yield plan where we are finding 70 lots, and those with Newfield's bonuses, we're finding a 10%, which shows a potential for 77. The minimum size on each of these yield lots is 2 acres with 200 feet of frontage. And then we've got the road, yield road, just designed just to service each of those lots. And in this, it utilizes land of both Exeter and Newfields. So our plan is to do a conservation subdivision, like open space, as mentioned, and this plan shows actually 78, but only, as I said, only 77 would be allowed, but we show 78 in case any of the lots are determined to be unbuildable. Each of these lots are half an acre with at least 40 feet of frontage, which is required in Newfields. As you can see on this red line here is the Exeter line. So we're staying out of Exeter land for these lots as is today. We've done calculations for the Newfields open space and the NHDES lot loading, which this meets the calculations for. We also propose 3 separate leach fields in purple here to service each of the house lots, and a well showing a 250-foot radius at the bottom here, whose well radius does go into Exeter. As you can see with the roads, we've done our best effort to avoid any wetland impact as we can. But again, that's subject to change based on what is actually in the field. And then the last plan here just shows the proposed subdivision with any without topography. And as you can see, there are some steep portions based on this plan. But yeah, that's what we have for now. And Drew, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Yeah, Drew Goddard with Copley Properties. Thanks for having us tonight. Kind of rewind why we're here tonight is that we're starting the process. Obviously, it's a large parcel, so it's going to be multiple meetings, two towns. As JJ had mentioned, we had met. We have submitted met with the town of Newfields last month to start that process with that board, and because there is land in Exeter. We will be with Exeter as we develop this parcel. At this point, we're not proposing any development within the Exeter parcels. However, that obviously is subject to change. That in the future it could look different. There's obviously question of the assessors, the ownership of some of those parcels that's actively being pursued and resolved based on the information that we have. we're confident, the landowners are confident that of their rights to those parcels, but obviously have to go through the proper channels. So that's why our yield plan is showing those parcels under the ownership of the Ruggs. If that is to change in the future, obviously the yield plan is going to augment based on the resolution of those proceedings. But tonight is just really to kind of open the door for the very first time of what we're proposing to do out here. This is just conceptual. What we're seeing today is not going to get built. I'm sure it's going to change for a multitude of reasons. But this is just really the first step of many. And you know, one thing I'll say about the project, while we're proposing it all in Newfields at the moment, is the trail system that's out there, and we're gonna, you know, we have a desire to try to maintain those trails. Some of the trails that loss of connectivity is not going to happen. While development is going to occur, some of those trails might have to be augmented. We'll be doing overlays. So as we had mentioned, this parcel is going to add one more layer to our planning process, because typically we're looking at topography, we're looking at wetlands, but also we're going to be layering over the current trail network. I've had some discussions with some people in the biking community that have a lot of passion for those trails and have been a great steward to maintaining and creating those trails. So as we work through this, I do see, you know, change. It will be change, but I do hope that we can leave it with something that the people that do utilize it, whether you're on a bike or walk or take the dog out or go for a run, still be able to have that opportunity. I want to be able to enhance that opportunity too. We're not showing it here, but parking. You know, parking for access. If you live and you're in a butter, access to these trails, they're grateful. But if you don't live against these trails, parking can be rather difficult. So we'd be looking for some sort of trailhead opportunity. So we'd be able to welcome more of the general population to enjoy the trails. So we want to be able to enhance that experience. So change is, you know, while we want to be sensitive to that change. So that's where we're really going to be trying to be very sensitive to what exists today, to how we kind of develop it moving forward. And other than that, I guess, any comments or questions that you'd have for us?
Where our property disputes are happening, we feel we cannot progress any further than this.
Yep.
And that really there's nothing for us to talk about.
Yep.
So I'd look for a motion to end this review process.
End it, you want to end it? Lang?
Yes.
You want to end it? That's what you're looking for a motion to?
Yes, I'd like to have a motion to.
Mr. Chair, should we open it up to the public, since there is public here tonight, or do you not even want to get into that level of discussion?
I don't think we're ready to review it. It's like a proposal that comes in, it's not ready to be heard. It's not ready to be heard.
Got it.
The property situation is such that we're wasting everybody's time right now. Yes, public? Could you step to the microphone and please introduce yourself?
Well, if you're not going to open a public hearing, then.
No, I'm not going to open public hearing.
But you
Yeah.
should remember.
Part of the public, you are right now.
Mine
So-
is a personal concern that needs to be addressed because of something that was just said.
No,
responding.
can't, I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, okay.
We need a
You
motion.
sure? You sure
Yes,
about
I'm
this?
sure,
Okay.
yes.
I'm going to follow the lead of our esteemed chairperson.
Thank you.
I have a lot of respect for you, and
Thank you.
I think you do a great job. So design review has ended motion. I'm going to make that. I move that the design review process for Copley Properties LLC, Planning Board Case Number 24-10, has concluded and instruct the town planner to notify the applicant in writing in accordance with NHRSA 676:4.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? I would start with you. You, Gwen, please.
Aye.
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 Jen?
Aye.
Pete?
Aye.
That's an unanimous vote. Hearing is ended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful night.
Thanks for coming in. Thank you for coming.
Okay, no master plan discussion?
Are we still in business?
We're still in business, yeah.
Master plan?
Oh, well,
We haven't had a meeting.
well, our fearless leader has decided not to attend the meeting. So, what was your feeling, Mallory?
We're a rudderless ship at the moment. I hate to report.
Kristen, did you have anything else for Dave, or?
No, he did not provide any of the items under other business, master plan discussion, land use regs, flood
Take care.
modification. or bond.
Night all.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody like to make another motion for the evening?
I move to adjourn?
Oh, thank you. Those in favor, please indicate, no, we gotta, yes, yes,
Gavel
yes.
it.
Yes,
Oh.
gavel, we're done. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Pete, for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Good night.
Patience and
Hi, Jen.
Bye.
Thank you for
Bye.
tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.